Welcome back. As gas prices continue to soar, the national average above $4 a gallon, we now turn to our weekly poll asking if this is affecting your return to the office plans. And here are the results. So 52% of people said yes, high gas prices are affecting their return to work plans. 48% said no. And Akiko, I was kind of surprised by this. I did happen to vote no, by the way, because I take the subway, or sometimes I even walk, but very split here. It's hard to underestimate the effect of high gas prices, I think, in the national psyche, because we haven't seen a surge like this really in at least since the global financial crisis. But on certain metrics, we really haven't seen this since the early 1980s. So I'm not surprised to see that it's impacting people's decisions here. But to this degree, I think it's pretty indicative of the times in which we live, because this is a big deal. If you're not going to go back to the office because you're not wanting to spend money on gallons of gas, it's a pretty big deal, Kiko.
Well, Jared, you have to wonder how much flexibility employees are offering at a time when they were already struggling. I should say employers were already struggling to get bodies back in the office. We've heard so much about this need for flexibility, this hybrid environment. And then on top of that, you add the cost of gas. So, of course, yes, Jared, you and I live in New York City. We don't necessarily have to worry about paying for gas, but that's not the case with so many Americans who are driving by these gas stations, looking at the price go up every single day and saying, well, how much of that is going to come out of my paycheck every time it goes up? And this kind of got us thinking, because there's a lot of chatter, and I should say some of it is quite funny. It's not funny to have to pay for more gas, but we've found some levity in this conversation on social media with people posting how they're changing their habits as a result of this. And this is one of my favorites. This is from a wine shop in South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, saying that alcohol is now cheaper than gas. And they put up a sign that says, "Drink, don't drive." So that's one way to look at it. A little sense of humor, right? Let's look at this other one. It is a photo of a guy at a gas station. And I wonder if we can pull that up. You see him sort of, really tipping the gas pump there, trying to get every single drop out of there. I don't know if you can see it, but it says gas prices got me needing every single drop. I'd imagine that's something that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, it actually looks real, as in not staged. I'm not surprised if people are actually doing that. You want to get what you pay for, right? And I know
think you're going to get more gas out of it just because you tipped it, by the way. But I appreciate the photo.
Well, we have one more. I know we have a third one, and I've actually forgotten which one this is. There you go. Oh, the horse. I love this one. Gas prices got me like, yeah, we haven't seen a return to the horse and buggy in New York City yet. I don't know if we're going to get a return to that. I think it'd be kind of messy. Can't imagine what the streets smelled like 100 years ago here. But I digress. I think it's nice that we can find, and we had at least a dozen examples that we were pouring through in the show meeting. So there's a lot of attention on this. And if you go down certain channels on FinTwit or wherever you have, that's almost all I see. Outside of FinTwit, the few contacts I have out there, it's all gas prices.
Jared, one of my favorites, I know we don't have the photo, but I saw on Instagram yesterday, somebody posted the Fast and Furious franchise has been canceled because gas prices are too high. I thought that was kind of funny. But going back to why we're all talking about this, remember yesterday we got the consumer price index out. This is all added to that inflation, 7.9% gain in the last 12 months. A third of that came from energy. And this is just one of those things that every American who drives feels, right? Every time you go to the pump, you're looking at that meter go up and up and up. And you have to wonder whether people are changing their driving habits. We did a poll on that a while ago. People said they haven't done that yet, whether they're considering going to a smaller car that has more mileage, whether there's more people looking into electric vehicles. I mean, all of those things, something that we will see several months down the line, I'm sure, even a year from now, we may kind of see the real impact from these sky high prices. That does it for Jared and I in this hour, but want to do one last check of the markets before we let you go. We've got a bit of a split picture still here with the Dow, the only one in the green. It is up 95 points, the Nasdaq down 137, and the S&P 500 down 11 points. And while we're at it, let's do a check of oil since we are talking about gas prices. WTI at 108.87 and Brent crude at 111.